This is the email that I just recently got from Wildlife Alert, Defenders of Wildlife. Dear Joe, I wish this were April Fool's Day joke, but it's not. Today, the Bush-Cheney administration announced that it will waive environmental and land management laws along 470 miles of the U.S.-Mexican border. Laws ensuring clean water for us and our children? Dismissed laws protecting wildlife, land, rivers, streams, places of cultural significance disregarded, and laws giving American citizens a voice in the process gone? Clearly this is out of control. Please call U.S. representatives and senators at the phone numbers provided below. Once you're connected, please deliver a simple message. My name is Joe DuPont, and I'm calling from Towanda to voice my shock and outrage about the Bush administration's announcement today that they will waive important environmental and land use laws along 470 miles of the U.S. border. This flagrant abuse of powers threatens border communities and wildlife. I urge you to do everything in your power to challenge this awful decision. Let me tell you, this is, Roger Schick-Leichen, President, Defenders of Wildlife. Here we go. Defenders of Wildlife and the Sierra Club have asked U.S. Supreme Court to review the constitutionality of this controversial waiver as a flagrant violation of separation of powers principles that the framers of the U.S. Constitution read more below. This is war. We're dealing with a war against terrorism, a war against illegal aliens, a war against drugs, and we have to worry about this stupid environmental organization telling us what we should or should not do. This is the first thing George Bush has done in his entire administration that makes any sense. He has essentially given the borders to Mexico and the drug dealers. They put two guards in jail for defending our borders to send a message to others. If anything, George Bush is probably doing this to send a message to the drug lords that unless they do something different, they're going to close off the borders. Apparently, maybe he's waiting for money from the drug lords. Who knows? I don't trust this president. I don't trust any of our elected officials at this point. And the only way we can get a handle on this is to push Bush to follow through on this. And to find out what Clinton, Obama, and McCain would do under the same circumstance. Like I said, we are at war, and we can't even protect our damn borders. This is war. I'm not worried about some rattlesnake or lizard. I am worried about the people of the United States. I'm worried about American jobs, and this has to stop. Notice that the Sierra Club is involved in this little undertaking. I remember during the first Persian Gulf War, I was talking to the Sierra Club, and they came out saying they were against the war. They finally told me, you don't get it. We don't want the United States to get this oil. The Sierra Club is dedicated to bringing us back to the Stone Ages. Don't you get it? Don't you get what some of these environmental groups are trying to do? You got to wonder who the hell is pushing these environmental groups to basically destroy our industrial capacity. You don't hear in these environmental groups screaming and yelling about China. They don't care about China polluting the world because China's probably funding all these damn groups.
Tonight, more evidence of a possible government cover-up in the case of two Border Patrol agents who shot and wounded an illegal alien Mexican drug smuggler and who are now in prison for doing so. The Justice Department says it had no choice but to prosecute those two agents for the shooting, in part because it had no evidence against the drug smuggler. But newly released transcripts from the agent's trial clearly demonstrates that those claims by the Justice Department are flatly wrong. Casey Ryan reports.
After former Border Patrol agents Ignacio Ramos and Jose Compean were sentenced to 11 and 12 years in prison for shooting an illegal alien Mexican drug smuggler, U.S. Attorney Johnny Sutton held a press conference. He defended his decision to prosecute the agents and give Oscar Aldrete Davila immunity for smuggling about 750 pounds of marijuana across the Texas border.
We have no evidence. If someone has some evidence that this van driver, that this illegal alien committed a crime, I would be happy to have it, because I would be happy to put this guy in prison for as long as we possibly can.
Trial transcripts reveal there was plenty of evidence that Aldrete Davila, in fact, had been transporting marijuana that day, and again several months later.
The transcripts